Hello folks, Farmer Nerd here. It's a cold winter morning. I think we're on the 29th of December. The King's birthday proceedings are over for another year. And today I'm going to make some honeysuckle cuttings. What I planned, ones that have worked well for me in previous years, are these spirally ones, where it's all spiraling around each other. And what I would do is just cut it off and put it in some nice compost, well draining compost. So we'll go ahead here and cut them off. When my brother was over from Australia last time, he sharpened these secateurs, so that a good job. Okay. Now we have the honeysuckle cuttings. There's 4 there. And when they twist around each other like that, it helps them support each other as well. So we'll go around the bush, take some more. I have it in mind for a while now to cut almost a step ladder into this bush going up there and turn the top of it into a deck chair. It's been clipped so tight now, it's like a solid ball. Now if I can reach in to get some of these. There's the seagulls wanting fed. Alpha squadron. Lady up the street feeds them too, surely. That's all I'm going to get from this position. And back down again. A lady actually came all the way from Ballymena to buy these off me last year. The polytunnel, and I've got my cuttings. Got plenty here. If I manage to sell all these next year, I'll be doing well. So yeah, if I can show you here the way the honeysuckle tends to grow when it gets established a bit. You can see the way it all twists and winds around each other. And these are the type of ones that I used last year that were successful for me, so I'm going to use these ones again. Out of them all, this one looks like the best one, because it has so many branches intertwined together. So what I'm going to do now is trim them down to size a little bit, trim all the dead bits off. Bits that are surplus to requirements, let's say. I'm trying to leave any fresh green growth on. See it right at the top now, I've got the fresh green growth. And any bits that look dead, it's hard to see them on the camera because they're so thin, but I'm just going to cut them off as close back into the main stem as possible. So I'll work away and do this with them all. Maybe go for about 20 again in total. Oh, fresh green there. See up here on this branch, I've got the green coming out, so we'll trim them here. And let the fresh green stay on. Now, in theory, I suppose you could make multiple cuttings out of a bit this size. But if you use it as just one cutting, then you've got a bigger plant, obviously, which would be easier to sell. Or you could sell for more money, which is the aim of the game here. Alright, so get that wee bit. Oh, I heard that, I'm not sure now, but I heard rumours that Monty Don might be leaving Gardener's World, or the Gardener's World might be ending entirely. And 10 days ago, Monty Don started his own YouTube channel. So shout out to Monty. Maybe he'll be able to do more of his own thing, of his own mind, rather than what the BBC tell him he has to do. Now he's got his own YouTube channel. Here's hoping. Okay, so here's one complete honeysuckle cutting. You see, I have no glove in this hand so that I can use it for doing things. It's hard to operate the phone, especially with gloves on. So, if you want like a close-up of it. So what I'm going to do now is prepare the pots the same way as I did for the raspberries and plop them in. I'll show you that as it's going on. Okay, well, I've got the 15 pots. Turned out I've got 15 separate bits there. So I've prepared 15 pots with the stones in the bottom as normal for drainage. So what I'll do next is I'll go ahead and make up some soil mix with compost. Try and get it the right sort of moisture, and then I'll plop them in. I know I had some dead plants about that aren't going to make it, so I thought I would reuse the soil that's in them. And it's generally okay to reuse the soil. Like when I planted them, I done them as I'm doing with stones at the bottom and a compost mix. The only thing I would say, a common one I see when you go to reuse soil, is sometimes you can see little orange balls about a couple of millimeters in diameter. And if you see them, I would dump the soil because they're bug eggs. But the soil that I'm reusing today is from a mountain pepper tree that fell over in a customer's garden last year, and it still had a lot of life in it then. So I thought I would try to save it, but it hasn't been successful. It's dead. So I'll cut that up and use it for firewood. Maybe even these bits could be specialist barbecue logs if you want to taste what your burgers taste like, cooked with mountain pepper wood. But you can see here the soil is all still good quality compost. That's black stuff. So I'm going to reuse this mainly. This is going to be the main component for my honeysuckle cuttings. Lost for words there a second. So I'll go ahead and filter this a bit, get the stones out of it, and then I'll use it for my honeysuckle. I'll just show you me making the last one of these up. I've got the stones in the bottom. Then a big handful of compost, soil and tree bark mix, and then sprinkled in lightly. It's handy if you have a glove on for this, so your hands will be completely stinking. You have to wash them about 5 times to get them clean. And then just a very light pat down. And now that's us ready to start putting our cuttings in, honeysuckle cuttings. Where's my best one? The thickest and most twists. I'll go for this one. You can see that at the bottom that one's a bit longer, so I'll trim that off. We can find somewhere to put the camera. Okay. Now, I do have a tool for this. It's like a big spike, but I'll just use my thumb because I have the spike out at the mountain pepper plant, hitting the soil off it. And in we go. Now I do have a specialised tool for this. It's like a big spike, and I was using that to get the soil off the mountain pepper plant, but today I'll just use the old natural spike, the finger. And then we'll plop this in. This looks like a good healthy cutting. Now these green bits are going to go under the ground, but there's so many of them, I'm willing to let that. So here we go. I'm going to push it in as hard as I can and try and get it down as far as possible. Now, will it stand up by itself? These are going to be a bit top heavy. Maybe I should have used a little bit bigger pots for these, considering they're so tall, but we'll go for it for now. I can maybe repot them in a few months' time if they're successful and we see more growth coming on them. So I'll go ahead and do that with all 15 of them, and then I'll show you at the end. That's all 15 of them planted up, guys. And I went and got my spike tool. My hands didn't get too dirty with the gloves on, but the soil will still get through, like, unless you're using like leather gloves or something. But yeah, that's 15 of them. So again, 5 for each. What's 5 times 15? 75. My mathematics still work. Yeah, almost a day's wages there. And I'm guessing by the sound of the bells down there, it's 10 AM. This was some of the soil that I took out of the mountain pepper plant, and it's so damp, it's hard to separate it from the stones. So I'm going to leave it like that and rake it every couple of hours, and hopefully in a day or two it'll have dried out and I'll be able to separate the stones from the soil easier. All the best, folks.